business in the Central Business District is slowly bouncing back to life as the restrictions on movement have been lifted. Maxwell Agbagba visited the market. Here is his report.
We are here in the Central Business District. This intersection is just about 100 meters away from the Ghana School of Law here at the Central Business District. The road behind me leads to the Independence Avenue. The one on my left-hand side is the Kojo Thompson Road. If you know this intersection, it gets very busy around this time, especially on a Monday morning. You find a lot of people, trooping to the market to buy stuff. You'd also find traders trying to catch the attention of potential buyers. But that is not the case today, although there's some kind of activity after the lockdown or the restriction of on movement was lifted. Not much of activity is happening here. Let me speak to this woman here who is selling Veronica buckets here at the Central Business District. Mommy, in few no, it's saying, "What's your and I say and yeah."
In some ways, yeah, because some young crowd complaining, me and it's handsome me.
Well, she says in some way it is good, and some way too she cannot really tell, because she's been here in this market and she's seen how people were, struggling. The vulnerable people, some vulnerable people were struggling, even getting food. She says sometimes the distribution of food, sometimes some of them do not get it. Okay, they suffer before they get the food. Just like you would observe, usually on a normal day, on Mondays, you'll find this stretch, very, very busy with a lot of traders shouting, yelling, screaming, trying to draw your attention in a way to come and buy, their wares. But that is not happening today. Okay. Okay. Well, so I was asking her what it was like for her during the lockdown period when she was not coming to work, to make some money. And she talks about how it is important to save so that in times like this, you'll be able to go back to your savings. So she's talking about how she had to rely on her savings during the lockdown period. And see, maybe so say lockdown na a year free or no. It's saying, "What's a year and I say and yeah."
Oh, a year, mom, na gonna for ya so year.
Well, she says the lockdown that has been lifted is very, it's very good. Okay. Okay. Well, she says the lockdown that has been lifted is very good, but she says that a lot of Ghanaians, they do not heed to, advice, even from experts. And she says that we should be careful such that, the lockdown, the restriction of movement will not be imposed again. Into what's say a lockdown at your own? Oh. Okay. Well, she says it was good. The president, it was good for us to stay home so that persons who have contracted the disease would be identified in their various communities. Me. Okay.
She president protect sanitizer
okay. Okay. Well, she says it was good that the president, asked us to stay at home because the disease is deadly. That's what she's saying. And she's saying that now that we've come back, they have come back to the market, it is important for them to adhere to personal hygiene, use hand sanitizers and all of that. No, otashia. No, me oba jalano, no ba honi. No, tani no me onaska. Okay, you know.
Baby tashia. Baby ami washi. If it's to a best point. Okay, fini. Kekente ya jioko. Kekenye. Abene so woni wo ya Methodist. Ame wo ame ha wo mo. Okay. For Kenny B. Okay. E wo no hu. Okay.
Okay. So I was asking her what it was like staying at home, not coming to the market to sell here, how she was surviving, and she was just telling me that she saves with a bank, and so normally she would go there to take part of her savings. She also says that she worships with the Methodist Church, and they've given them, you know, some food items, and I mean they've given them rice, and that's what she's been cooking. Coming here all the way to the Central Business District, what we observed was that a lot of shops, right from our office from Kukumlemle down to this place, many shops were still, you know, closed and locked. Yes, we interacted with some people around. They told us that perhaps it was because the information from the president and an announcement by the president came, you know, very late in the evening. So now the information is now trickling down to the traders in this market, and the many shops that we saw, that, you know, that were closed. Many of the people we spoke to believe that as the days, you know, as the days progress, as we move on to Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and the information is properly disseminated, many shop owners would know this, and they would come back, you know, to come and do business. So we're very close to the Rollins Park. Now we are actually moving to the other part of the Central Business District. We want to get a fair, you know, a view of what the market looks like today, what the Central Business District looks like today. We were here during the lockdown period. It was virtually empty with no activity whatsoever. The only people who were allowed in the market, the only people who were allowed at the Central Business District were people who were selling food, who were also providing essential services. Now the lockdown has been lifted. What we've observed is that business is slowly bouncing back, but we do not have the usual hustle and bustle that you'd see on a Monday here at the Central Business District. So we're just giving you an idea of what it is like. So these are the empty streets. You can see the streets are virtually empty. On a normal day, both sides of the road will be blocked, choked, and packed. There will be bumper-to-bumper traffic. Cars will be moving slowly, but that is not the case today. So we're getting closer just to give you a good view of the Central Business District, what it looks like just some hours after the lockdown was lifted. Well, we're here at Jamestown, very close to the Jamestown police station. From here, we'll be moving to Choco, but I have some of the residents here. We want to interact with them and find out from them what they make of the lifting of the lockdown and how their lives were, you know, impacted, I should say, during the lockdown. Let me speak to them and find out from them. Chief, you're welcome to JoyNews.
Thank you. The coronavirus is something that is disturbing us a lot.
Okay.
It's something that is disturbing us a lot, but we have to bear it because once it's something that has come in, we have to, adjust ourselves and do what the direction that have been telling us to do. We have to do it, like washing your hands very well, and then use soap and sanitize your hands. We normally do it every 1 hour. Every 1 hour we do it. Every 1 hour we do it. We wash our hands and then we sanitize it. So we have to bear it. It's very, very painful. It's disturbing us a lot, but we have to bear it.
So now you can no longer pick 3 passengers, or 4? How many people do you pick now?
As at now, we can no longer pick 4 passengers. We normally pick 3.
Okay.
That is the directives that have been given to us.
Okay.
To pick 3 passengers.
Is that affecting your daily sales?
Well, it's affecting us a lot, but we are speaking to some of the car owners, to the excise station, if probably they can even reduce the sales so that we can also make it.
Okay. So, Chief, what's your name?
Prince Nunu.
Prince Nunu. What do you make of the lockdown that has been lifted?
Lockdown make me lose my everything. My business go down. My customer, the people, they don't come. So I make lose for the down.
Okay.
So we thank Akufo-Addo say release us. The way the police and soldiers they beat me my back self. If I show you, you go see. We take it like that.
What did you do before they beat you?
They say I should 10. I said why? I should 10. I'm going with they say 2, back to 1. They say hey, come on 10. You can't do anything. So on my to 10 no one person come from hey lash him it's a neighbor. I'm going to qualify there. No one not me no you're patrol here into you don't back.
So you stopped working because you were caned by the
I have to stop working.
Why?
Because they cane me. If I come again, I will be caned again. So I have to go home and sleep. So anything they do, we take it like that.
So now you're happy the lockdown has been lifted?
I'm happy now. But I have to take care of myself because of the bongombo automatic cola fever. So don't catch me.
Coronavirus you're talking about. So we are here at the fishing community here in Jamestown, and we've been interacting with the public relations officer of the Fishermen Association here. Well, he tells us that in spite of the ban on public gathering and then the Ghana Tourism Authority ban on the use of beaches here, it's quite difficult to prevent the people who reside here from going to the beach. So he is pleading that perhaps on weekends soldiers can be deployed here to ensure that residents are not allowed to go to the beach. He has also been talking to us about the impact of the coronavirus pandemic on residents here at this fishing community.
We people here, we accept what the government has to tell us, that we have to take instructions from the government. But to also is that what affects us is that the people who have to come and buy the fish here, if they are coming because of the coronavirus, so they didn't supposed to be come. Lucky also, the fish also is not here plenty that is forced to come. So that's the problem we had here, seriously. And the second time also that because they didn't come, we have to use ID card to them that they should know that they are part of the fishermen because they didn't bond our fishing going.
Safety protocols, I should say.
Yeah. About this place, everybody had to accept because I think last week Sunday about the Easter holiday, you know that the soldiers came here plenty because they didn't want anybody to be going inside the sea because they don't want anybody. But one thing they do, I like it, that I think they should continue because some of the time the sea, the people are painting the sea inside too much. And so I'm pleading to the government, that side pleading that some Sundays they should let the soldiers to be coming out that so now we get it, we didn't get it finished.
Okay.